Hi guys, I'm making a short video about my battle with the Kraken. I'm going to try and edit this video with an editing app. So let's see how I go. Okay, I was out one day crabbing down in Mandurah catching crabs, and I had a crab scoop. A wooden pole, sturdy wooden pole with a metal basket on the end. And when you go crabbing, you go at night time, or at dusk, dawn, and you have a torch, a flashlight on your head, so you can see them. You see the spot of blue underwater, and that means that there's a crab there. So the crabs move sideways. You move in and you get the crab to move away from you in one direction, and you've got the scoop ready, so you scoop it up, and then you have a cooler. We call them an esky. I have it tied around my waist. It's floating behind me, and you put the crab in there. Of course, you measure it, make sure it's legal size, everything, yeah. And one time something floated by, and it was the Kraken. It was an octopus. I've never seen one like that, this big, and just swimming. And it was very graceful, actually. And so I love eating octopus, so I thought I'd catch it. Used my pole and scooped it up. Now this metal basket has little gaps in it. It's a basket, so it's a frame, and it's made out of wire, thick metal wire. It has holes, like say that big in it, and the octopus managed to get its entire body through these holes. And I'll tell you something, this octopus was not small, it was big. From the top of its head to the bottom of its arms. Now, by the way, technically they're not tentacles, they're arms, technically, so I'll call them arms. And it managed to squeeze its entire body and arms through this tiny little gap, drop out underneath my basket, and I had to scoop it up again. So I'm trying to catch it, and what it did is it was fighting me. It grabbed my scoop, my pole, wooden pole, and snapped it in half. Now, I would not be able to have broken this pole over my knee, and this thing just snapped it. It was unbelievable. They're so strong. And so I've only got I've got two pieces. The one's useless, the basket. I've got this one pole left, so I'm got the basket to try and hold it in, and then I'm sort of trying to knock it out with the stick, with the other half. I ended up being successful. After a long battle, it was grabbing onto me with all of its arms, and I had to pop, 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 pop. Really strong suckers. Pop it off me, whilst I'm sort of trying to hit it in the head to try and subdue it. I didn't want to hurt it. I just wanted to kill it quick, so I can, I don't want to be cruel to animals or anything like that. I just wanted to dispatch it quickly so I could eat it. And I'm a fisherman, so that's what we do. And so I was fighting it, it had its beak. It was trying to get me with its beak. It was attacking me with its beak. I'm like, beak is coming for me. And so I'm like keeping it away, beating it with a stick, and eventually I knocked it out. Eventually. Of course, it did actually. I had my crabs in a cooler, which I had tied around my waist. I had, I think, 3 crabs in this cooler tied around my waist. We call it an esky here in Australia, and it was like floating behind me. It got one of its arms into the cooler and just shredded the crabs. Like one arm went in there and just destroyed them, just turned them to pieces. And all the arms have like the sort of mind of their own, crazy, very intelligent animal. And so destroyed all my crabs, and I thought, I've lost all my crabs, but I've got an octopus. So knocked it out, took it back to shore, and took it back home, cooked it up. I like a little bit of flour, shallow fried it. Oh, it was just delicious. Of course, I was reading the internet. I didn't know how to cook it. No idea, because not many countries actually eat octopus. So I was googling how to prepare octopus for cooking, and there's all these different methods that I was shown, but one common theme was that you have to tenderize the meat first. So that you could beat it with like a hammer, like a schnitzel, whatever. I didn't have one. So what I did is I went to my backyard. I lived in an apartment block of 8 stories. I lived on the ground floor, and there was a big rock down in my backyard, and I had the octopus, and I was just bashing and bashing and bashing and bashing it against this rock to tenderize the meat. And people above me, they could hear this, and they were all looking down at their balcony, and they were looking at me like, what the hell is this crazy bastard doing now? What on earth is he doing? And I'm there with this octopus bashing it against the rock. They all thought I was mad, which is partially correct. But anyway, so I tenderized it, and then when I did cook it up, it was absolutely delicious. It was great. Huge octopus. I got a lot of meat out of it. Like one arm, that would be like a couple of arms. That's like a whole meal. Like they were. It was big. It was a big beast. Like it was the KRAKEN. The KRAKEN. So, yeah, I cooked it up, ate it. It was great. I haven't caught an octopus before or since. If anyone else finds an octopus, I strongly recommend you catch it and eat it, tenderize it, but be prepared for a battle, because they are beasts. Also, it was squirting me with its ink, gross black ink all over me, and battle of the century. I couldn't. That's one of my. That's a great memory that I've got. So I'm gonna try and just edit this video a little bit, see how it goes, and I hope everybody has a great week. It's Wednesday today, so it's the middle of the week, and not weekend yet, but have fun. Check your 6. Adios.